DHS announced the 64 illegal immigrants on the first self-deportation flight. Guys, this was super intelligent. Okay. Now imagine, so we moved the CBP1 app from what it was to what it is today, basically giving people the ability to say, hey, listen, bro, I'm here. You guys, you don't have to catch me. I don't want a felony, et cetera, et cetera. I will just go ahead and leave. I'll take that $1,000. And if I do at one time in the future want to come back to the United States of America, I can come back legally. That's basically the offer here, right? Rather than consistently being chased. Imagine. Right? If you're sitting here under the threat of a massive raid coming to your door, I think the smart deal, actually, would be just to take this and be like, I'm gone. Okay, you guys are mean, right? That's fine, but take that $1,000, bro. All right, let's go and jump to this video immediately. This is a suggestion via Discord.
This is
let's go ahead and fast forward through the intro here.
Sharing this video of that flight from Houston to Honduras and Colombia. 64 of those illegal immigrants boarded that charter jet free of charge. Officials handed out food and children's toys for each ride, and each person was given a $1,000 stipend for their cooperation. Now, remember, this was the incentive that was promised by President Trump shortly after he came into office. He's been talking about this for weeks, and now it's happening. Now, those illegal aliens will have a chance to legally return to the United States. He said, look, if you come back the legal way, you got to get in line. You won't be put first,
right,
but you can come back if you self-deport. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem posted this picture of two women sharing a hug before boarding their flight. And this man was all smiles before boarding as he headed back to his home country. Secretary Noem talked about her self-deportation program during a Senate hearing last hour.
For us to deport someone, that we have to go out and find that individual, arrest and detain them and remove them from the country, it costs upwards to $17,000 if there isn't, more delays than the normal process. That's why we're encouraging people to self-deport. If you are here illegally, we recognize that you may have been here for a period of time, but if you want to leave and have the chance to come back someday, leave on your own. We will facilitate that. We'll buy you a plane ticket. When you land, we will give you $1,000 that you can get started with and provide for your family. That cost of self-deportation is $4,500. So much, much more cheaper for the American taxpayer,
right,
in how we make sure that we really are following our laws and that the people here in this country, the American citizens, are treated with the respect that they're due by coming here through the legal process and being a part of our future.
And I want to make it clear, our screen right now says migrants. They are illegal immigrants who were in this country, and they have begun to self-deport. John, what's your thought on this legally?
Harris, I totally see the symbol.
Keep in mind, guys, it's like 64 out of 11 million. I mean, yeah, but
of this. But I don't think using carrots rather than sticks is a way to enforce our laws when they're broken. Now, just the back of the envelope calculations, it would take 155,000 flights to fly all the tens of millions of people that President Biden let in illegally.
But they're not all going to leave that way.
No, I
they're
expect
not.
not. If it's Newark Airport, it could be 250,000.
Oh my goodness.
These days.
Touché.
We're talking $10 billion in payments. But the main point is our criminal laws and our laws create a deterrent. And I think that's where President Trump has been successful.
Yeah.
We are deterring people from coming here. If you get in here illegally, we shouldn't be rewarding them. And think about if we applied this to my hometown in San Francisco. People are stealing things at rampant rates. Are we going to pay them to stop stealing? Are we going to pay people to stop committing murder? No, the point of the criminal law is to deter people from causing harm to society in the future. So I think paying people $1,000 for getting into the country illegally is going to have a perverse effect.
What do you think about that, kid?
I mean, bro, I'm not sure that people are going to be like, hey, listen, bro, to give me $1,000 if I go here and then say I'm leaving. Well, don't get me wrong here. That could actually happen. That could possibly happen. I think he's right here. Carrot versus a stick argument here, guys. Listen, Trump's presence in itself has dropped the border crossings to 94.7%. All right, just understand that, okay? So the stick is definitely working. I guess more of the stick then, guys.
Haley?
You know, I've said before that I think there's an important symbol here, and it's broader than just, enforcing immigration law. It's President Trump's compassionate way of saying, you sign up, you do this the right way, and I will give you a second chance. And he has articulated that. We talked about it on the show on Fox Noticias, the portion where he was asked by a man, a Mexican-American who'd been here, an illegal immigrant, been here 20 years with a family. And Trump said, I don't want to do harm to this guy. Do things the right way and come back. So I think that symbol is a very important one. It's a compassionate way to do things. And I think what President Trump was doing today on your program, throughout the hour, throughout the day, really, when he has stepped up to the microphone, he's driven a consistent message. And it's about the auto pen. And he's talked about who would take that pen and sign this away, sign away our border security. Who would take that pen and do that? And I was looking, President Biden's first day in office, the stuff he was signing with the auto pen or whoever was signing, whatever, was ending discriminatory bans on entry to the United States as if that was a priority, diverting border wall funding. Someone took that pen and signed those proclamations and undid American safety. President Trump today, by signing the proclamation for this homecoming project, has taken the pen and signed up for American security, saving the American taxpayer $150 billion a year in money diverted to illegal immigrants. I like it, and I like the symbolism particularly.
Yeah, and that pen was also pardoning his relatives. You know,
yes.
Biden had priorities, apparently. Yeah. Riley.
Yeah, well, I think it's humane and transparent, which I believe the transparency key is important. It's what the American people voted for. It's strategic enforcement. You have to wonder how many people have entered into this country illegally under Joe Biden or even prior to that who want to go home but can't necessarily afford it. So I see it as a
Yeah, bro, listen, if they've come here, obviously they've realized that the average American cannot actually, attain, let's say, the American dream in a manner that the movies dictate, let's say. So if they've been here, bro, some of them could want to leave, but most of them are not going to, guys. They don't really want to. They've come here, they've tasted this, they've seen what this is, and they're comparing it generally to their home country. And they're just like, yeah, I don't know, I'll deal with it. Yes, I'll just deal with it. That's kind of the vibe I get from like seeing interviews, at least from some of the people that have crossed the border.
Win-win. Of course, this is in the end of the game here. It's fewer tax dollars spent on deportation, and we're ridding the country of these migrants. It's not likely that the gang members are going to be leaving voluntarily, but it gives them the possibility of legal U.S. entry as well, which is important. And it debunks the narrative, too, that Trump is anti-immigration. This is not true.
Right.
Again, I'm married to an immigrant. My husband came over to the U.S. from England a few years ago for college, but under Biden, he wasn't able to get his green card because he wasn't willing to get the COVID shot. But day 2 of Donald Trump in office, he vacated this nationwide mandate that would require legal immigrants to get the COVID.
Like, listen, hold on here, guys. Yeah, I get it. Yes, England, the UK, an immigrant. Yes, but where do they? I mean, listen. I think technically, yeah, but unfortunately, the American society tends not to. I don't know. How do I even explain that, guys? England, an immigrant, guys. That's generally not what is. We're gonna go ahead and delete this whole section. This whole section has to go. This whole section has to go. Jeez, Louise, 8 men. 64.
COVID shot to receive their green card. So it debunks the whole Trump is anti-immigration narrative as well.
You know, Emily, there's been lawfare, all these injunctions against this president. And I would have to think that at least in this way, he can take the reins and say, look, I'm going to CBP home. We're going to turn around Biden's CBP 1 and have you leave the country, self-deport. It is a way to kind of flout, look, you can come after me, but I'm still going to get the job done.
Absolutely, using his authority that he knows he has in stark contrast to the prior president that didn't even know what his authority was. And Professor, respectfully, I think what interests me here is I think we're actually rewarding not illegal immigration, but we are rewarding the self-deportation. And I note that it sort of appears to be 3 doors, a choose-your-own adventure, essentially, for the illegal immigrant. And tragically, the compassionate cruelty under the prior administration, their option was sexual assault, rapes, theft, beatings, horrid, deplorable conditions that were paid for by the taxpayers in the United States, but yet they were truly in like squalor for the entire time. And that was their option under the cartels, under pain of death or violence for their families if they didn't take them up on it. But if they stay here, what I love is that the president has painted what that portrait looks like.
You persuaded me. I'm wrong. I've never said that before on television.
Even done. But yeah, I feel like, we showed through the enforcement mechanism of the DOJ, essentially like, if you stay here, these arrests are going to happen. But look, we'll give you stuffed animals and the like to leave. So I see the comfort that these illegal immigrants have, the safety they have to get home safely, to me seems priceless. But I'm curious your thoughts on
John,
that.
I think you got outnumbered.
I mean, wait a second. I'm not gonna lie here, guys. I mean, that made a lot of sense, but it still kind of feels like carrot and the stick. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you do not take up this offer here, you are in fact gonna have to hit the border again. Okay, at some way or meaning, if something happens, you're gonna have to hit that border again, no matter what. Right? Go in the opposite direction. And you never know what you're going to experience. And what Trump is basically doing here is like, hey, listen, bro, I get it. I'm going to go ahead and send you with $1,000 to get back to your country. And we're going to get you there directly, safely to the biggest airport in your city. That type of thing, guys, right? I get it. Yeah. What's your option? Your option sounds terrible, right? For you and your family specifically. It doesn't sound conducive, right? So I guess if you want to actually maintain some type of like civility, right? I mean, do that, right? Absolutely do that. But all right, guys, listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.